Hey, good morning, everyone. Happy Sunday. Good to see everyone. Well, at least it's good to be seen by everyone. Let me get my mic sorted out, all my stuff going here. Make sure I'm organized. You know, I do all these preparations for these things. Really happy to be here this morning, January the 25th, last day of the month, folks. Last Sunday of the month, not the last day, but the last Sunday. And happy Sunday to you. The weather here is spectacular. It's about 68 degrees, man, dry. Well, it's not really dry. It's a little humid, actually. Beautiful, beautiful evenings. I don't know if you guys have been seeing some of the sunsets I've been posting, but I mean, just like I am so grateful to have such a beautiful place on planet Earth, of all places. Planet Earth. We're on planet Earth today, January 25th, 10:32 in the morning, Eastern time. Hope the people from Europe and England, assuming that you have access to this, are having a good day. It's in the afternoon there, and anyone in California who's up at 7:30 in the morning, if you're not taking your gummies already this morning and you're eating some granola, welcome to the Gary Cardone Sunday session. I am an awesome human being, just like you are, and what we do here every Sunday, something that I committed to out of the ether, for lack of a better word. Um, oh, wow. Got somebody in from La Jolla. Wind Pump 15. Merry, happy day, sir, from La Jolla, California, one of the most beautiful places in the world. Too bad about the government. I think we're going to have a good session this morning. I have had an awesome week. And by awesome, I have just learned so much, and I am becoming much more, what's the word for it? I wouldn't say convinced. I would say that, how many people we got in? 175 people. About a year and a half ago, I started doing these on Sunday mornings after an instruction to do so. And I got to tell you something. Something is happening to me that is absolutely spectacular. I'm almost a little embarrassed to talk about it. But I literally place every bit of what is occurring for me, what I think it like I feel like I'm being I wouldn't say transformed, but energized in some transformational way. Uh, Highly creative, focused. Now, this has taken me. I could not say any of this 3 years ago. Okay, 3 years ago, I was in the middle of a shitstorm. And the reason I share that with you, I think people that are going through challenges, I'm always empathetic, not sympathetic, but empathetic of people going through challenges. And sometimes I hear people when they're trying to help other people, hey, just get out of it, go for a walk, do whatever. When you're in the shit, you're in the shit. Okay. So if you're in the shit right now, if you're confused, if you're frustrated, if your life is not on the trajectory, okay, like it'd be good. By the way, everybody get a book. Okay, Gary's got his book. Get a book, get a pencil, get a pen. I love pencils. Any kind of pencil I'll take. I don't know why I like the pencil so much, but there's something about it. It's more, I don't know. I feel the writing better. Um, and all I have to do is sharpen it. I don't have to go get another ink thing. But where was I headed? Oh, as I have been doing these, and I actually suspected this was going to happen. I started doing these as an experiment in front of whoever wanted to show up, as a proof proof of work. Oh, wow. I am proof of work. See, I actually, wow, that's amazing, man. I am the proof of work. See, I think that all I have to do is look at my life, look at the results of my life, look at the output, look at the production, look at the energy around me, and I think that defines the proof of work. By the way, it's not the proof of work. It's not the work that you're telling me you're doing or I'm telling you I'm doing. It's the proof of work of me becoming really me. Okay. Like I am certain I am becoming more me today than I have ever been me. And it's because I'm analyzing, I'm taking the time necessary to actually look at, hey, what is driving my work? Well, what's driving my work is my thoughts, my imagination. I'm going to write these things down actually. What is driving my work or my lack of work? They're both works. Poor results and great results are both works. Okay. Suboptimal works still works. Okay. So, what am I trying to do? I'm trying to get the trajectory so it's doing this. I need my trajectory. Where is my life trajectory? Where is my life trajectory? You know, I see some people on here that do charting for a living, like Thip Swami, and some other guys here. And welcome, guys. Blockchain Becky, Maria Mack, LinkedIn user. That's cool. See some LinkedIn people. LinkedIn just, I don't know. Sick Mimi, Matt, Kwarashi, Fibaswami's in here. He made me think of this. David Kiefer, Rick, all you guys, you're so awesome. Thank you guys for being here. Anthony Canafalo, always here. Good to see you, buddy. David Borshad, Wind Pump, Crypto Mob Barley. Very tricky there. California boy. Oh, wow, another Cali boy. Lori Spearns in the room, Mel M. You guys are just like toast butter with some jelly on top of it and a little jalapeno slice. David Kiefer says, pencil is more raw and water doesn't destroy your writing. It's more permanent. David Kiefer. Awesome, dude. Okay. So what I was saying, whatever results you have in your life today is your proof of work. Now, the question I should be asking myself is, now, one, you have to take responsibility for the condition you're in is the condition you're in because the condition you're in is the condition you're in. Okay? And so my proof of work, in my case, using the stress, the frustration, the pain that I was in 3 or 4 years ago, the confusion, because I had gone completely off track. It doesn't really matter why I went off track. I went off track. And by the way, I find out all the great things about Gary in the gutter, man. As long as I don't kill myself, okay, totally destroy myself. I learned so much in the gutter. Everyone's so scared of the gutter. Oh, by the way, if all you look at is the gutter, that is where you're going to head. Okay, try to ride a motorcycle and keep looking over at the fire truck. You're going to run into it. If you look at anything, that's where you're going to go to. So the point I'm trying to make is I am convinced from doing the IMs and so publicly that I am reframing or retraining, maybe even reconfiguring what type of energy I tap into. The proof of work for me is, oh, wow, I'm having a really fucking tough time in my life. Everything's breaking down. I'm at war with everyone. Wow, dude, I must be attracting a lot of bad frequency. Okay. The proof of work is not what I'm doing, but I look at the characteristics of it and go, hey, that's suboptimal. The work is happening in me. Okay. It's the way I'm thinking. Okay. The way I'm thinking is driving, or the way that my entity is thinking is driving my trajectory. Make sense? Okay, so if your trajectory is like this, dude, there's like clearly there's not focused thinking. There must be some ups thinking and there must be some down thinking, but you can't keep doing this in your life. That may be okay for 2 or 3 years when you're struggling. Okay, but you still have to like zone out and go, am I making upward progress? Okay. So if thinking is really, really important, can anyone agree that thinking is not important? Can anyone agree that it is important? Okay. If it is important, if thought is relevant to your now and to your future, if my thought is relevant and valuable, then the quality of my thought must be absolutely essential. The quality of my thought. Okay. Most like, and we're going to talk a little bit about this again today. I thought we talked about it last week, but I keep, as I have been doing this, especially when I started doing this when I was painting. One night, I won't tell the story again because everybody's heard this. But one night, basically, I felt compelled to do these Sunday morning meetings. After doing the first Sunday and 1,000 or so people showed up, which I expected nobody to show up, 20 or 30 people. See, I heard a message. I just went and did it. Okay. Like I have a thought. Okay. I don't think. I have a thought. It was very clear to me. It resonated perfectly. It was in total alignment. I may have not liked it. Okay, there may have been a part of me going, "No, dude, I'm not getting in front of a camera, dude. I look old. I don't want to do this. I have no idea what I'm going to talk about. This is going to be stupid." Let me tell you everything I thought. Okay, oh my God, man, the God people are going to hate me. The religious people are going to hate me. The Jewish people will most certainly hate me. And then, all my business people will think I have lost my fucking mind. Gary, you made a decision. The only way you would do this is if you were authentic. Okay. Ooh, man, all that. I'm like, damn, dude, I have to be authentic. Okay, but you know what I know? I know that for some reason I had to do it. The message was so clear to me, because I was being critical. So I've journeyed down this path as authentically as possible doing this I am work. And what I am finding for I try to use analogies that everyone can understand, but like I actually think I am building a freaking super antenna here. I don't know any other word to use, but um, yeah, I think like a frequency generator and also a receiver, um, not more or less sensitive, just like powerful, man. Like I feel like I am electric, right? Like I am frequency and this like I'm writing all this stuff down as I go, right? And I'm just having all these cognitions, all these levels of awareness about frequency, harmonics, and which leads me, I don't know why it's in this order, but frequency, harmonics then leads me to intention. And I'm really been like hooked up on this intention thing. I think intention is senior to everything else. Intention, and if I'm right, and by the way, I'm not trying to be right here, okay? All I'm trying to do is explore what's happening in my universe Like, is there just one Gary thinking here, or is there a battle inside of Gary? Most certainly, I think there's multiple viewpoint or perspectives um, that it's clear to me enter my decision making, enter my life, and I think the intention. See for me, the senior intention is to be authentic. Okay, and why did I choose authentic? One, I see very little authenticity out there. If there is little authenticity out there, and I think most of our history books are made up of complete and utter redactions, lies, um, falsehoods, alterations, and mutations. If our history has mutations and inaccuracies in it, and then we're not being fully authentic, I mean, you start looking around the world going, well, look, let's see, Stephen Carell, David Kiefer, Yosef, Tim Blanche, Yolif. None of these guys are 100% authentic. And all the data they're carrying around with them, most of it's been adulterated, mutated, morphed, twisted, redacted, or changed completely. I find myself looking at the laboratory, the petri dish of humanity. I look at this petri dish and go, wow, this petri dish is full of incorrect data, lies, falsehoods, and even the very actors themselves inside this petri dish are not being authentic. They're mutating themselves to do something else. Like if you look at that, you're like, wow, man. So my intention is to explore every part of me and ask really challenging questions and attempt before this body of mine falls apart, um, get to the highest level of who I am supposed to be, who I am capable of being even. And then I realized, wow, I am capable. I'm going to write this down. I am capable of being anything I want. Wait, not want, not want. Anything I intend to be. Anything I am capable of being, anything I intend to be. I intend to be authentic. I intend to be free. Okay, these are beautiful, beautiful statements. Okay, I intend to be free. I am free. Okay, I must then define what is this free word. Okay, in fact, I'm going to write three words down: free and happy. I intend to be authentic. I am authentic. I don't just intend, but see, my intention happened first. Okay. Dan J might be sitting there going, dude, okay, I'm happy. Okay. I'm free. I'm authentic. Okay, cool. Just make the intention to be authentic. It is impossible to be authentic if we have lived in a world where we learn to lie and deceive and morph our behaviors because we don't want our dad to give us the grin or the look. Okay. Like no one is perfectly authentic. Okay. Like I would like to sit here, probably light a cigarette right now, but I'm not going to do that because I think it's going to put off a lot of people. Okay. So I push that off to the side. There's a lot of things like, see, the moment I intend to be authentic and real is the moment I get in trouble because a part of me is going to be, whoa, dude. Like that could be expensive. That could be expensive to start being authentic. What if somebody doesn't like me that does business with me? What if somebody thinks I'm crazy? Ooh, I use the F bomb. Maybe people won't like me. Ooh, I might use the word church. People won't like me. You see what I'm saying? So as soon as I intended to be authentic, and why did I intend to be authentic? Because I think it's one of the rarest qualities on planet freaking Earth. And I think it's one of the rarest qualities on planet Earth. And I do not think I can become free and be free if I am not authentic. And who do I need to be authentic to? Who do I need to be authentic with? How can I be authentic with you when I'm lying to myself? How can I be authentic with you while I'm lying to myself? Okay. And part of that lie for me, and this is why, I talk a lot about the art that I've been doing for the last few years. And it's not so much to promote the art, it's one that I'm doing this experiment of, hey, I think I can learn anything. I just have to do it. And my intention is to become an artist. So do art. Okay. I mean, it's just not that complicated. The fascinating part for me is doing something I don't know about well that I'm learning has established this awareness for me of how many different personalities Gary has. And personalities is probably the wrong word, but how many critics Gary has. I have far more critics than I have, um, cheerleaders supporting, right? Inside of me, not inside of my brain. I think I am the spirit, I am the soul, I am me. And the rest of this is just like, okay, cool. But like the analogy I use, if I rip this shoulder off right now, I am not going to be any different. You're going to listen to me just the same. It like literally could take parts of my body off. That means I am not my body. In fact, I could remove large chunks of my body, and I haven't been depleted of my spirit, my beingness. Okay, so there's a lot of moving parts to Gary. I see the comment, Yosef, Gary has moving parts. I have many moving parts. I mean, you can prove this. You can prove this to yourself. Go on a dinner date and then go to a meeting with your business associates and then go do something with your children. Why are you different in all three of those situations? You are. I'm different in every one of those situations. There's some things I let my children see. There's some things I'd let you see. The cool thing is I can no longer lie to myself about who I am when I am saying to myself, I am authentic. My intention is to be authentic. I have to get authentic with self. Last week we talked about, hey, how many lies do we tell each other? How many lies do we tell ourselves? Okay, so this thinking, frequency, harmonics, and intention, if I can get my frequency up. See, this is a question I think everyone should ask themselves. If I can get myself into a higher band of frequency, is that good or bad? Do I want to be in a really low down frequency? And that would look like, oh, I'm a victim. I don't control anything. I have like bad luck. Okay. If that's all happening, and look, I've been there. Okay. It's not happening to me right now. And I'm really grateful. Okay. But you know what I do? I remember when it has happened, and it could happen this afternoon. Okay. It's painful. But like what I have to realize every time is, oh my God, I have stuck my head, I have stuck my beingness in a bad energy flow. Okay. I have stuck my, for whether I meant to or not, I have stuck my voltage, my connector, my life spirit into a frequency that is inconsistent with who I am trying to be. Otherwise, I'd be tickled pink about it. I would be tickled pink if I'm uncomfortable, dude, the uncomfort, the discomfort, the dis-ease, okay, is the indicator. And I will bet you $100 the first thing you have to do is if you're in that spot, look around and go, what am I tapped into? Either past or present, I am tapped into some really negative energy and I must disconnect from it. I have to disconnect from it. And if I continue to have this frequency up and down, I have not disconnected from enough of it. This is the hardest part for most people. They don't want to look at look, this is the truth. They don't wanna look at most people are not going for this journey. They're not gonna go for the ride. They're not going for this adventure, and most certainly, the people you've surrounded yourself with are not going to go on this adventure. It is called the road less traveled for a reason, man. The road less traveled. If you have not heard of this book, it's by a guy named Scott Peck. Awesome book. If you are in pain right now and a struggle, that is absolutely the book to get. I think within the first paragraph, the most brilliant thing he says in there is life is painful. Life is painful. I would have said it a little differently. Life is painful sometimes, or sometimes life is painful. And in that pain, dude, there is so much glory and so much treasure. Like everyone is trying to escape the pain. I would beg you, implore you to jump into the pain. You have never escaped it yet. You've been running your ass off for 32 years trying to escape this pain, and it never goes away. You might as well turn around and look at it. Okay? Turn around, look at it, and then start writing stuff down. Okay? I am aware. I am authentic. I am full of positive energy. Okay? And that doesn't mean that I don't have some negative energy I have to get rid of. I have to look at myself. Okay? Like if I am not willing to look within, I am fucking lost. And it doesn't matter how wealthy you're ever going to be or rich in money, you will be lost. You will be lost to your one of oneness. It's amazing to me, this one of one thing. I just love it so much because it just refines everything, boils it down to such simplicity. To think that I am a one of one, so rare. I don't know anything else that's a one of one. Nothing. I do not know anything that's a one of one, truly of one of one. I mean, the sunsets I get, whoa, one of one, right? Well, we're talking about one of one with like the ability to have an imagination, the ability to create, the ability to transform, transcend, the ability to communicate and send energy. I'd like to talk a little bit about energy today because it's becoming very clear to me, man. Like I think I've only tapped into like a very, very small amount of my energy. And there is so much there, and it's powerful. It can move other beings. I think I can communicate across space. I do. I believe part of what I'm doing right now. Listen, it's not just in the words Well, do you guys feel the energy or not? And maybe I'm just smoking dope, okay? But my intention is to transcend this microwave shit, this Wi-Fi. Look, this is a great example. I am transmitting something through Wi-Fi, okay? Then why can't I just I'm sending it to you, okay? I'm sending you white energy, awareness, so bright it's a mirror, okay? When you look into this light, it is a mirror of yourself and it gives you permission to just dive in, man. Dive into the mirror that you look at yourself in a mirror and try to send yourself energy. Okay? I intend to send energy through this camera. Powerful, strong energy. Laugh. Okay. There's a part of me sitting here going, I just thought of a couple of people that I know in my mind when I said that. I don't know where these two pictures came from. Two guys laughing at me. Two men. Two men. This part of my head, I don't know why I think it's back here, but as soon as I said that I think I can send energy to you, pure white carrying energy, and that you can feel it, I literally have two little, I think they're assholes, pop into my head laughing at me. Okay. Oh, that's uncool, dude. Wall Street guys, right? Really smart, well tenured, rich little bitches. Okay. But see, those guys, what do they do to my positivity? Boom. I got to get these guys out of my mind, man. And the way I get them out of my mind is, hey, my core agenda here is to be authentic. Authentic is almost as rare as one of one. Might be more rare. If I believe in the thesis of one, and I cannot imagine anybody here or anybody not here suggesting to me that a one of one, in the case of a human being who has an imagination, and an imagination leads to the ability to create. We also have the ability to communicate in multiple ways. So I have the ability to imagine something out of nearly nothing, out of just my own passion or glory or instincts. I imagine something and then I can go create it. I can create the future by imagining today. I imagine today about something I want or need or I am creating in the future, and then I go and do that. Followed by action, intention, thought, imagination. My dogs can't create whatever they're dreaming about, okay? But I have the ability then to put that into action and create one of one. Huh. Maybe one of one is important for me not to not know. In other words, me being inauthentic on this one of one, how am I going to discover why I'm here? Are you telling me really that you believe you're sitting here as a one of one? You know that, I mean, can you buy that? Hey, if I put bad fuel into my car, it's not going to go as far. And if I put really good fuel in my car, it's going to go well. Well, if I'm feeding me with really positive, authentic, and well intentioned, I am opened. I am a library of genius. What are we? I look at myself and I go, wow, I could just be a big library, dude. Because I'm literally everything that I've consumed: TV, mommy, daddy, the Bible, the book, that lie, this book, that lie, whatever. Everything that's come into my beingness, I have become. The question is, what are these things? Are these things true? Are they kind of true? See, I'm interested in being free. In fact, the freedom is less important to me than I am interested in being absolutely the most one of one that I could possibly be. I don't think I've tapped into like 2 or 3% of it. Imagine if I'm only at 2 or 3% of who I am capable of being, imagine me adding 1%. That is a 33, that is a massive increase, okay? I had 2, I added 3. I mean, my God, man, okay? If you're on a conscious level, in fact, you should do this. Where am I on a consciousness level? 1 to 5, 1 to 10, okay? How conscious am I? How aware am I? Aware and conscious. I think they're slightly different things, okay? In either case, I'm going to go, I am aware. Hey, don't say this if you can't take it. Do not do I ams, even if you half mean them, if you can't take the pain, okay? I'm going to give you an example. For as long as I can remember, maybe 22 years old, I hated almost I had 2 teachers in high school and college that I liked. 2. Both in courses that I abhorred. I hated both the courses, but the teachers were awesome. And all I ever did was complain about all the other teachers. And when I was 22, I was like, I could teach better than that. I am a good teacher. I would be a good teacher. Okay. I have been saying I am a great teacher for as long as I can remember. And I don't know why I was saying that, but it so irritated me about how bad the teachers were that I was like, hey, I could do better than that. And I was thinking in my mind what I would do and how I would do it and the stories you would tell. Like I would start repairing what I thought they had done poorly. And here I am now, later in life, and I would discover this a long time ago, but here I am later in life, and I can embrace, hey, I am a really good teacher. This is not me doing this. Hey, Gary is awesome. I have become a good teacher because I have been saying I am a great teacher. The other things I said, I am a loyal warrior. Okay. Of freedom. Okay. There's absolutely no damage in a human being saying, I am a great warrior of goodness and righteousness. I am a great warrior for the underdogs. I am free and I am a warrior of freedom. Now, if you're not a warrior, you're not a warrior. It's cool. Okay. We all have our kind of like archetypes. Guys, excuse me 1 second. Okay. I got a bunch of wind blowing and I got 2 umbrellas that are popped up here that look like they're getting ready to blow away. Just give me 1 second. Sorry about that, guys. All right. Wind's kicking up really heavy. Okay, so where were we? Aware, consciousness, frequency, harmonics. Okay, where I'm getting to is I want you to like maybe draw a picture of your space, right? Like where are you? Okay. And this is, just draw a little circle, right? Little circle. And then what I want is think about, hey, how far does your energy go out? Okay. Does it go out? Is it just all stuck inside of you or is it around you? Okay. See, I am intending to I have a monster amount of energy. Oh, by the way, I am pure energy. I am frequency, high, massive frequency. It doesn't cost me anything more to exaggerate. If it doesn't cost me anything more to exaggerate my imagination, unbelievable, dude. Think with this, okay? Cost me zero extra energy to exaggerate my imagination. I mean, really fucking supercharge it, create colors and sound and really exaggerate my imagination. I am frequency, high, massive frequency that does good. Okay. It costs me nothing to say that. Zero. Now I could say I am frequency. I am fair frequency. I'm pretty good energy. Okay. Why would I do that to myself? Now, if you can't exaggerate it, go look at yourself in the mirror and go, dude, like, why? Why? Okay. Now, there's a little character in Gary that would love to go, dude, don't start exaggerating shit. Dude, you already are hyperbolic. Okay. There'll be so much criticism here, but when I write this down, exaggerate my imagination, it costs nothing. Costs nothing. Okay. It costs nothing for me to exaggerate my imagination. And I think everyone can agree that my imagination is what makes me different, man. My imagination is creating my reality. What I am imagining. Now the question is, am I imagining or is something else imagining for me? You should really ask yourself this question, okay? If you can't imagine being free, there must be something in you that is imagining that you cannot be free. If you imagine that you're a victim and you're never going to get out of the position you're in, you're imagining the position you're in is your position. Now, I get really offended when I'm in a struggle and somebody, sends me a note and says, well, you just need to read this. You need to do that. You need to do this. You need to get on your knees and pray. Like, dude, what if I've done all that? Okay. Like what I need somebody to do is just understand I'm in a spot. And getting out of that spot isn't always so easy. If it's not always so easy, then maybe the reason you're in that spot is undefined yet. And I think it's these characters inside of Gary. Remember I said, hey, look, my reality is simply my reality and the world around me is simply made up of the books I have read, the parents I had, the social environment I grew up in, my belief systems, the things that happened to me that I turned into survival mechanisms for that point in time. But it doesn't make any of it real. It does not make any of it fact. It simply makes it Gary's universe. See, we're all, me and Adrian Martinez, we live in totally different universes. He has a whole set of belief systems. I have no idea where they came from. I have a whole set of belief systems. Okay. he looks at me and whoa, wow, whatever, right? But I may look at him and like we are looking through different prisms or lenses. We literally are, none of us are on the same fact channel. We're all on different channels. It's just amazing. Now, when I say all this, see, as I go through all this and realize we're all on different channels and we have different inputs, none of it's actual fact. As soon as I recognize that, I begin to judge people far less. In fact, it's near impossible for me to judge people when I start realizing none of us are actually living in the truth zone. Because if we were, we wouldn't be arguing with each other regularly. Okay? But by the way, on that comment, I'm going to hold that thought here for a second, but if the 1,500 people, if the 1,500 people that are in this room right now, if we all had the same, if we all had the truth, because is there more than one truth? At least some basic foundation for fact. I don't think we would be arguing with each other all the time. Okay, that means we're trying to defend our belief systems, defending our belief systems. You guys may think this is funny that I write everything down. I think your guys are the funny ones that you don't write shit down. Because the more I write stuff down, the more I am. Wow. I mean, I've written some stuff down writing. I think I could write a book on the last 3 pages. Exaggerate my imagination is a monster. Okay. I wrote that down and I'll never forget it. I should be exaggerating my imagination. And I want you to ask yourself tonight, when you go look at yourself in the mirror and you brush those nice little shiny whites, why don't I exaggerate my imagination? Why? Why don't I exaggerate it? And if you can't ask that question, then maybe you are exaggerating, okay? Maybe you need to exaggerate it some more because I haven't seen it. It costs nothing to supercharge your imagination. Now, there's two, mind-blowing. If you don't exaggerate your imagination, why don't you? Because if you're not exaggerating it, that means you're probably under-exaggerating it. Okay? Can we all agree imagination may be the most important thing a human being can do? I'm there, okay? I do not know anything that I can do that is greater than imagination. Now, that's something that we will, could disagree on, but I'm going to hold that thesis because, by the way, I have never held that thesis. My whole life, I've never held that as a first principle. Unbelievable, dude. First principle, I am imagination. That is my key difference. I do not think a one-celled amoeba or whatever has the ability. Maybe they have the ability to imagine, but I have the ability to imagine. Okay. And I have never in my whole life gone through my day waking up going, whoa, I'm an imagination bunny. I am an imagination creature, and I'm going to hold my imagination down. Okay, the reason I'm holding my imagination down is because I never recognized the first principle of me is my tremendous capacity to imagine with zero fuel. I need a little fuel. I need a little food. Okay. But I have the ability to imagine, to dream, I am, isn't it amazing? I am is the first three letters of imagination. Can't make this shit up, dude. Can't make it up. I am imagination. I am imagination. That's all I am, I think. If that's true, folks, if that's true, then we haven't spent enough time on the real us, the real capacity, manufacturing capacity of a human being must be to imagine. And what follows imagination is creation. Okay. Creation is an action word. Okay. It is an action word. It is a verb, creation. If I do not do the create part, I think it's almost impossible not to do heavy imagination and then not to create. See, the reason maybe we're not creating is that we're not imagining enough. All we're doing is we're just sitting on our little pre-programmed, unconscious pre-programmed, unconscious little roadmap. Gonna have to figure out what roadmap we're on. Like imagine if I have a GPS system in my car and it keeps, it keeps telling me I'm in Russia. Well, I'm probably not going to make it to the journey, right? I'm not going to make it to fish with my buddies in Clearwater. So I have this GPS system in my. This is perfect analogy, okay? GPS, human, trajectory, okay? Guess whose GPS I'm running on? My dad's, my mom's, my brothers, my sisters, this guy, that guy, the girl that I want to like. Seriously, like we're so fucked up, it's stupid. This is so simple. If you guys are digging this, okay, because to me it's genius, okay, it's absolute genius, and it's not me. I am not taking credit for this. I am the pencil, dude. Okay, I am a brush here. I wake up when I come do these things. I literally just ask the universe to blurb it out and let's free flow wherever this thing goes. That's where I'm going. But if my GPS is not mine, then I'm probably going to end up somewhere I don't fully belong. I halfway belong there. I will always be discontent. I will always be looking for something to fill in this thing. What is that thing? The thing is the very thing I never really bothered to look at, which is my imagination, me. What do I want? How do I see the world? Imagination, the great black hole of humanity. The great black hole of humanity. Wow. You want to talk about one of one, finite, proof of work. I have proof of work, okay? I have proof of work. My first career I went into, I'm like, oh my God, dude, this is like, I can prove my work here. And every time I've done hey, I'm going to go extreme. I'm going to really go over the edge and really get into it. Look, the great black hole of humanity is not tapping into the imagination that is there sitting free of charge. Okay. I am a testimony. Look, you some of you guys are going to go, yeah, you were successful before. I got to tell you, okay, the last 18 months of doing this, I have never been more successful. This is the most successful I have ever been in my life. And I'm not talking about last month. I'm talking about this very second and moment in time. Proof of impact. I like that. Okay. This thing on me grabbing this imagination thing, this has taken me a long time. I started with the, hey, go start a church, Gary, since you hate all the churches and the schools, go start your own. So we lift that up. And then I was like, hey, I am one of one. And then I'm like, no, I am. What does that mean? I am imagination, man. Wow. I have 67 years old and I've never realized that is all I am. And that is everything I am. I mean, it's not like, hey, that's all I am. It's not very much. Dude, I am pure imagination with the ability to follow through and create upon that imagination. Should I use some examples? Jimi Hendrix, Jack White, Pablo Picasso. Pablo Picasso was told to do a lot of other things. And wow, what a disaster that would have been, right? It doesn't cost anything to tap into your imagination. It then doesn't cost anything to supercharge it, to expand it, to articulate it. Oh, why is the magic happening for me? I have believed this for many, 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 many years. In fact, my whole career, any success I've ever had these elements in it. Okay. Um, One, imagine. Two, start framing and claiming what it is you're going to do to the world. Okay. Now I hear declare, I'm going to call that declare and articulate. I have heard many, many, many people suggest that, hey, when you have your plan, don't share it with anybody. That is utter bullshit, dude. Okay. I came on here on 2 years ago, a year and a half ago, and said, I'm starting a church, man. Why did I do that? Oh, I'm going to become a painter. I'm going to become a really great painter. Why do I do that? Because I won't back out of deals I make with people. Like I am a really loyal, like, see, what I'm doing is I am exaggerating my commitment. I am pushing out. I just did a painting and the center of it, burn the bridge. In order to have an awesome life, you have to burn the bridge to the old bullshit life where you're tapped into what? You must be tapped into somebody else's agenda, man. You're tapped into someone else's inauthenticity. So that's why I keep saying, hey, if I'm authentic, which by the way is rare as shit, it's rarer than one of one. I mean, that's the really irony here. We're one of one, and and I would say like 100% of those one of ones are not purely authentic. Crazy, man. Okay, so I am authentic. You say I am authentic over and over and over and over to yourself. I am conscious over and over and over to yourself. Be prepared to become authentic or very, very uncomfortable when you're not. And you have to play these tricks. I have to play these tricks with myself. Otherwise, I will end up in mediocre land. I'll just look around and go, hey, I'm doing better than everybody else, dude. It's cool. Doing better than everyone else is not the measurement. Exaggerating my imagination and expanding myself. I am in competition with me, not you. In fact, I'm not even in competition. All I need to do is discover the true treasure. What is the true treasure? Why don't you figure that out? Why don't you write down what your true treasure is? Like, what, how do you define happy? Okay. I hate that word, but I like, I want freedom. That's what I want. I want freedom, freedom, and freedom. And the freedom is, hey, I want to be free to be myself. And this has nothing to do with the government. Okay. This has nothing to do with me, saying, having free speech. I need to be free knowing I know myself. I'm authentic within myself and I'm comfortable with that. That is freedom. Okay, because that freedom allows me to say no to you. It allows me to say no. I would rather sit in a dark cell and be self instead of being a prostitute. I am not a prostitute. It is not authentic to me. I cannot do that. And that is not to say that I have not prostituted myself, or in fact, that I will not prostitute myself in the future. I probably will. Anytime I am not authentic, I am prostituting myself. I am most certainly disturbing the fucking awesome frequency that I could tap into. I'm literally pissing on the frequency, not literally, virtually pissing on the frequency, saying, hey, it's too high for me. I'm scared to go to a high frequency. So I calm it down. Oh, let's see. Tim Blanche may not like my high frequency. Let me calm it down. I am free to discover who the hell I am. Write down on your lack, on your clarity of who you are, how authentic you are, like how much you know. On a scale from 1 to 10, where would you mark yourself in awareness? Okay, here's one. Awareness. Mark yourself down. I'm going to say I'm not going to tell you where I'm at. Then conscious, okay, and then authentic. And just give yourself a score, okay? I don't think anyone's going to be in a position where you can't improve, okay? So just give yourself a score, awareness, consciousness, and authentic. And then one last one. How convinced are you? This is a different question. But on this one of oneness, this thesis I have, that the universe made you like you're just an anomaly. What, from a scale from 1 to 10, where do you fit in truly being that one of one? Okay. Actually, not that you're being one, your belief. I want to know about your belief. What is your belief system as to the true nature of your one of oneness? I think that could be a falter point. If you don't really buy into this, oh wow, I'm really a one of one. Easy for me because I'm a twin. I'm like, yeah, we're different. I look at you, yeah, we're different. Okay, like nobody's like me. That I am certain of. And no one wants to be like me. You do not want to be like me. Okay, not a chance. But how much do you believe that you are a one of one? I'd like you to write that down. 0 is, I don't really believe that. I'm just one of many. And 10 is, oh yeah, I am certain I am a one of one. Not how much you show that, not how much you don't show it, just where are you, okay? I think, well, let me say a few things that I've written down here. I said, I am pure energy. I am frequency, high, massive, endless, infinite energy. I exaggerate my imagination. I don't downplay it. I exaggerate my imagination. Everyone this week is going to start exaggerating your imagination. Put some damn color on it, okay? It can't be, oh, I'm going to be a baseball player. All right, good. I'm going to be an awesome baseball player by the time I'm 17. Blah, blah, blah. Okay? Exaggerate my imagination. It costs me nothing. Write my imagination down. Start journaling my imagination. I am one of one. Okay, good. That's not an imagination. And if you are having to imagine it, you keep saying that to yourself, it'll become very fucking clear that you're one of one. Okay, you cannot possibly be one of 30. Okay, you can't. Now, I think there's a lot of unconscious people around, so maybe we have clones in our in our wake, but look, there's only 2,000 people in here, okay? Not everybody's gonna join this party, which is where I was trying to get to earlier, and then I kinda went sidestep. If I am frequency and I am not exaggerating my frequency, I am not if I am imagination and I think everything that's happening in my life is actually due to my imagination, I am. Then if the outcome, if the song that's being played or the noise that's coming out of my universe isn't like a classical, awesome rock show that like gets everybody horny, then I must have some bad frequency in my universe, man. There must be some keys on the piano that need tuning, or maybe we just get rid of the piano, or maybe there's a bad amp, or maybe I have a manager back here telling me my art's stupid, okay? Or gives me a funny look and go, "You're doing art, dude. You should be making $10 million." Or, "Hey, you're doing art and you should be selling it." Okay? Like anything to confuse me, okay? If you are not living the life that you're supposed to be living, there's two things happening. One, you have some fucking creatures inside of you that are suppressing, oppressing, smashing your frequency, your true imaginative frequency, and or you have people in your physical universe that are doing the same. You are not going to make any progress as a super antenna, a authentic one of one, if there are people in your mind and people in your universe that are constantly telling you you are not special, you are not a one-on-one, you must control yourself, you need to go do this, you need to go do that. There is only one entity that knows what you need to do. And for all you wonderful religious people, I know what you're going to say is God. I got it. Okay. But it is through me upon which I know what to be true or not true. And it is only me and the God that lives in me that can tell me that. And no counselor, no psychologist, no girlfriend, no boyfriend, no coach can do that for you. You're wasting your freaking time. You are wasting your time for 1 hour a day asking somebody else to listen to you when you're not listening to yourself. I mean, really? Okay, this is not complicated. I am imagination. I need to exaggerate my imagination. My imagination leads to me creating. When I am creating, I am freaking happy. And I hate to use the word happy, okay? Because happy for you and happy for me are completely different things. There is no such a real thing as happiness. I just don't even believe in the word. It's such a dumb word. But when I am creating, I am most certainly free. I'm free in that moment, right? The true freedom came from me being allowing myself just to imagine whatever I wanted to imagine and to think whatever I wanted to think and to allow my imagination to take me somewhere. It's like getting on a magic carpet, man. Okay. I just have to learn to ask myself the right question. We have people going to AI programs now, uh, and whole programs, people selling monthly programs on how to, what's the word for it? How to ask the right coding questions to the AI. How about learning how to talk to yourself? You don't need Grok, dude. You need to talk to your own AI. Okay. Your AI knows you better than Google. It knows even the shit you think about that, you don't tell anyone. If you have secrets from anyone, raise your hand. I do. Okay. I am compressing my imagination. I am distorting my one of oneness. I have a door closed on my one of oneness. I have a closet over there, closet over there. Oh, that one's fucking locked up tight. That's got a vault in it. You see what I'm saying? I mean, if you just draw a pie chart, and then you go, okay, well, I'm authentic, and then you start, going, well, yeah, I'm authentic, except for my sex life here. Okay, that one's not gonna be so authentic. And hey, my gambling life here, yeah, and oh yeah, my drug life here. Oh, and I got a fear over here I never ever talked about. Well, all of a sudden, Gary's authenticity seems to be a little captured here, right? Oh, by the way, okay, there's influences that come from without here. Let's say my brother's trying to raise $200 million from big bank, and my last name happens to be his last name, and we kind of look alike. And I say something, hey man, those are fucking criminals. Uh, you know, he might want to put a little pressure on me, going, bro, that kind of cost me. Now, what happens there? He's not wrong. I got it. Okay. But it most certainly impinges on my authenticity. See, I'm like this cool balloon, dude. Now, do I want that balloon always compressed with with bullshit helium? No, dude. I want to keep inflating that with what? Dreams. Dreams or the helium. Dreams inflate. Oh, that's cool. Exaggerate. Dreams inflate me. Dreams inflate my imagination. My imagination should be expanding, right? Your imagination should be expanding. As you get older, your imagination should be getting bigger. Why is it getting smaller? And this is the cool thing, I think, for the older people, okay? And by older, I mean 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75 years old. You're sitting here at part in your life and you're like, hey, man, where's this journey going? If you're 42, you can still ski and go on great adventures and go skydiving and do all that stuff. At 55, you probably have a little bit less interest in that. What happens is people's interest and their experiences, interest, capability, okay, and experiences, those all start to decline in life. And the sad thing is the interest part should not decline. I don't know why the interest part declines. I think the interest part declines because perhaps the imagination has never been a muscle that's been used. So it just has nothing. It can't really inflate when there's a pivot, when there's a 40 going to 50, or a lady has a baby. Now what do you do? Oh, you retired from a job. You get sick. What do you do? Okay, so interest, capability, and experience waning tells me the imagination is waning. This is sad, okay? It's sad because someone retires from their job, and had they been imagining what it was they were gonna create, they would be into the next phase. But they never did that. They never imagined, "Hey, who am I? I am imagination. I am, and therefore, if I am imagination, I am creating my today and I am creating my tomorrow. Full stop." Okay. Literally, the images I am creating in my universe will produce the outcome. It will. Like I have zero doubt that this this key on intention, intentional interest in your imagination, intentional interest in your imagination. Once you realize that is all you are, I am imagination. I am imagine. It is the only thing you can do, really. And then you can take action. But first, you imagine. Now, the people that can imagine, they're into reaction. They can't imagine anything because all they're doing is dealing with reactionary. They have never taken the time to imagine what their new life is because they're programmed on something. They showed up at 23 years old and they have a whole program from their background, their readings, their learnings, their teachings, their seeings, their hearings, their struggles. They have literally created 23 years old. Oh, wow, this is who I imagine I am because they're looking at, oh, I'm a waitress. That's a horrible imagination. What I'm a waitress. If you're saying I'm a waitress every day, I'm a waitress, you're not creating. Okay. So imagination leads to creation. Okay. Creation. If you're not stuck with a bunch of out ethic, if you're not fed up with being mediocre, then you're probably going to continue being mediocre. If you're tired, if you're not tired of having a bigger imagination, you're not going to have a bigger imagination. If you want to argue with me about that it costs nothing to imagine, and by the way, it doesn't cost any more energy to imagine massively, and then you still say to me, hey, yeah, but I don't want to. Okay. It's really important for you to ask yourself, and I would ask yourself that in the mirror. I would say, hey, look, if Gary's right, and I don't know that you can actually make me wrong on this, if I imagine the most crazy, insane, bizarre, out of the, I mean, what did I say? I said extreme imagination. Okay. Exaggerate my imagination. Can anyone disagree that one, it doesn't cost anything for me to exaggerate my imagination? And in order for me to exaggerate it, I have to agree that I have a one. If I have an imagination, if I have the ability to imagine that my future is dark, do I have the ability to imagine that my future is unbelievable? Do you think it will have any outcome differential, those two energy flows? Does it require me more energy to have an extreme imagination than it does for me to have a blase imagination? This is a great question, okay? And then you gotta, wow, it doesn't cost anything to imagine big, but I don't. It doesn't cost me anything to imagine big, but I refuse to. Now we have an issue, okay? Now you're moving into, ooh, dude, I'm just refusing to do it. You gotta get honest with yourself, okay? You have to get honest with yourself. Oh, shit, I must like this. If you're not gonna be willing to be uncomfortable, you won't do this exercise. Your life also will plateau. It will cap out until you get so uncomfortable that you either further destroy yourself or move into freaking big action. I'm telling you, there is no way for you to escape this. There's no way for you to pause it. You can take side trips. You can take reroutes. You can, you can do, there's so many things you can do. If you don't intend to tap in to the most profound parts of you, see, I think it's blasphemous. Once I really recognize this, I mean, I've been talking, what, an hour and a half? Once I write down and recognize all this, like it's impossible for me not to believe that we are all part of one unbelievable. All I got to do is tap into the energy, man. All I have to do is tap into the energy. All I have to do is tap into my energy, my authentic energy. I don't need to tap into yours. There is nothing I am going to get from your energy, okay, by tapping into it, like it, plugging into it to get something. This is not a zero-sum game, okay? It's only a zero-sum game when my energy is negated by me having someone unintentionally in my universe that's disturbing it, that's hammering it, slamming it down. How does it get hammered down? It does not get hammered out when I send it out. It's being hammered because I don't send it out. I give their energy more power. I give it some consideration instead of, dude, I don't know what, I don't know what Bob's intention was when he had I don't know what his intention is, dude. I also don't know the program he's running on, but I'm certain that 99.99999% of the people that I meet in my life, including myself, are not 100% authentic, and therefore they are running on someone else's imagination, made up imagination. Okay, they imagine the world. This is not the imagination I am talking about. They imagine the world based on the books they read that they can't even remember, the churches they went to, the comments made by their dad and their mom and their grandparents, okay? This is not my program. I have to learn what I know. And if anyone can tell me that the past has any realm of fact in it whatsoever, you're like, I'm happy to have that debate with you. But the only way I would do it is if you have a serious amount of money you want to bet, and we do it in front of a large audience, and you'll get destroyed. Okay. There's absolutely, I don't know anything that's real. Except I really do not know anything that's real. Okay. Now you could say, hey, that microphone's real. Okay. It is not any more real than my imagination or the imagination that was required for someone to think to make this thing. Okay. Imagination, intention. I am a good being. I am tapped into awesome energy. I attract great energy. I am only interested in helping, not taking. I am not a taker. Okay. I'm not a compulsive giver and vomit all over people. Okay. But I am not a taker. My intention is to do good. As soon as I decide I am intending to do good, by the way, you have to make a decision. You can't, well, I won't make a decision about that. I mean, if you don't intend to be a good human being, if you can't look at yourself in the mirrors for 1,000 times, go, I am a good man. I intend to do good works on this planet. I intend to be fair and honest and equitable. Okay. If you can't say these things, okay, you're effectively opening the door to intend not to be those things. Once I have done the intention part, I get the evil shit out of the way. See, I'm almost programming my whole beingness to go, hey man, you bad guys stay out the way. Okay. My intention is to be good. Then, okay, and why do I start with intention? Because I can go so quickly off the rails. Okay. You start introducing money, and I'm like, oh shit, dude. Now I'm intending to make money. What's the first principle? I intend to help. Okay. My imagination is senior to doing. My imagination and my extreme and exaggerated imagination requires no more fuel than a moderate imagination. So as long as I could like be as authentic as I possibly can, which by the way, I think is a low risk trade since no one does authenticity. The very few people that do it are celebrated as champions forever. And I think I can probably pick 3 people on my hand through history. By the way, I intend to be one of these cats, okay? And the reason I intend to do it, because to me, it makes sense. I mean, literally supply and demand. There isn't any. I'll raise my hand. I'll do the deal, okay? Because I don't care if you think I'm a dick or if you think because the way I think about using the God word or that I argue with you about, hey, I don't need to pray anymore. I've already said my prayers. I'm doing shit now. I don't see any downside to being authentic, except that, oh, I solved that problem. In order for me to really be authentic, I realized, shit, I can't have any advertisers. I need to be careful about the businesses I do. I don't want to hurt any of my shareholders. Uh-oh, this is getting easy. I will do nothing, nothing. I will invest in nothing or anyone if it controls my ability to be authentic. By the way, that does not mean me walking in the office with blue hair and going, hey man, you got to treat me like a he, she, and a me. Okay. That is not imagination. That's fiction. Oh, just on that comment, because I didn't mean to get off. But look, if something is not sustainable, it's not sustainable. Maybe I'll just leave it right there. If something is not sustainable, see, I don't think being inauthentic is sustainable. It doesn't look like everyone's having a great time. Now, you're going to have to be cool with being awkward. You're going to have to be cool with not being liked. I have not been liked my whole life by many people. Okay. There'll be people here that just like, think I'm a complete ass. I was at a conference last week and I'm sure they thought I was a, ding dong because the conversation was just wrong. It wasn't about the people, the conversation, the data was just being wrong. And I have a authentic way of saying things. Okay. So imagination followed by intention, it costs you nothing to imagine bigger. And it is the great black hole of humanity. I mean, I think it is truly the treasure of the imagination. And I if you could spend 30 minutes, an hour, that leads you to the imagination. And I think every human being is going to have a different imagination. And that is where your glory is. One of one, man. One of one. One of one, unadulterated. You're going to have to go through a bunch of shit, right? See, there's a 101 in this library. It's a big old, huge library, and you got books stacked up on it and radio and TV and articles all over the place. And it's making up a part of who you think you are. If you just analyze all that stuff and get rid of it, and, oh, this is Gary. This is the true Gary. I believe there's genius there. I believe that is the holy grail, the treasure that everyone's looking for. They're just looking in the wrong place. They're looking for the job, the 401k, the girlfriend, the boyfriend, the drug, the high, the whatever. But man, it's internal, okay? I am one of one. I am one of one. I am not one of many, okay? I am one with you. I am one and feel extremely connected, okay? But it is impossible for me to connect with a network of other entities, other power sources, other imaginations if I'm unclear on who I am myself, man. And the value. See, I can't. If I think I am just one of a bunch, then there's nothing special about me. I'll let somebody else take the responsibility. Somebody else will call the sheriff's department. Okay, that's a phenomenon now. Okay, some girl's getting beat up in the streets, and 42 people are watching, and no one calls the cops, or no one stops. I wouldn't call the cops. I'd go stop that shit. 42 people sit there and watch, thinking someone else is going to do it. Look, I am one of one. There ain't going to ever be another person like me. Maybe there is, but there's not right now. And I think one man can make a massive difference. I think one man makes a massive difference. Groups rarely do much. Most certainly, large groups do very little. So I'm only left with one solution, which is, dude, it's on my shoulders. It's on me. It's on you. And now I got to figure out, hey, how do I win the game? And I think I win the game. Well, let's ask what the game is. I wrote down this as I was starting. What is wealth? Then I went, hey, what is rich being? What does rich mean, really? And then I said, what is freedom? Okay, all three of these things. And then the next line that pops up, who am I? So what is wealth? What is rich? What is freedom? Who am I? I think all these questions are extremely correlated. If I am authentic, if I really tap into my unique rareness that the universe, for whatever reason, dropped me into this bizarre place we are. If I am authentic, I have to believe that becomes extremely wealthy, extremely rich, and very free. And until I am authentic and comfortable in my skin and able to cooperate. Okay, I see some comments here. I'm not talking about being a narcissist and alone. I'm talking about being the greatest capable energy flow of possible to help change the negativity on this planet. It does not require, I believe that few of us can counter the negativity, but we must first think about, hey, what's happening? We're coming to the table thinking we can be authentic in a one-on-one, but don't realize we have a whole program that we've never confronted about what is true and untrue for us. Like, I have to discover what is not real. I cannot be authentic in an unreal world, and I haven't examined the world that is around me, which means I also have to examine the people around me. And this is a very difficult part for these type of exercises. I find Well, I won't say that because look. So if you're alone right now, if you've been abandoned, if you've abandoned someone, if you find yourself alone right now, I would tell you that I think you have it easier than the people that are highly connected to a bunch of people, families, kids, wives, ex-wives, whatever. It's easier for me when I don't have anyone around me. It's less noise. For those that do have people around them, you have to, when you start going down this journey, understand that they are not any different than you. In fact, they may be different than you because they're less conscious of this. This is a heavy, heavy, heavy conversation. Awareness, authenticity. What is my intention? Okay. Confront. There is a reason why 8 billion people aren't doing this. Okay. One, it's never been taught, never been supported. It's never been taught on scale. That's why you're going to have to find, that's why I think I'm doing the show, actually, this session. I'm giving you permission and I'm giving a platform permission to bring together a community of people that are all thinking about this. I really believe, man, if 2,500 people start doing this thing the way I'm doing it, like I got to tell you, okay, the progress I have made internally is staggering. I mean, truly staggering. I have never felt richer in my entire life, and I probably have less than I've. It's a hard thing to say, but um, if 2,800 people got what I'm getting out of this, like uh, we will change things so rapidly. You will love your life. Um, and I've done so many different practices. Okay, this is just such a no brainer. All right, so I'm going to start trying to close up here. Um, if you have not discovered the true treasure inside of you, you have not discovered how authentic and how unique you are. Okay, you deserve to do that. This does not have to be massively painful, psychologically disturbing, mentally just, oh my God, I'm a loser. Like all those things, your parents were fucked up. Who cares? Who cares, man? Okay. Who cares? No one. I have right this second, right now, I get to ask myself, how authentic am I? More authentic than I was yesterday. I intend to be more authentic tomorrow than I am today. Now, I love leading with this intention authenticity because let me tell you, if I say I intend to be authentic for the rest of my life starting this moment, it is going to be very difficult for me to continue lying to myself. It's going to be very difficult for me to continue to listen to lies, fiction, redactions. I'm going to start waking up. And I add on top of that, I am conscious. Okay. I am aware. These things will open your universe up. There's no way you're not going to start looking around, especially if you add the last piece to it, which is to go out and do something absolutely cool for someone else today. Okay. There's 2,600 people in here. Every one of you guys in payment to me and the world for this session. You get outside your house, okay, your apartment, your condo. You have to get outside your house and go do something really nice for someone. Take their groceries to buy their groceries, walk them home, buy them a cup of coffee, prepay for 10 people's dinner somewhere. I don't care what you do, okay? But do something nice for someone. You're going to impact them. Don't freak them out. Don't scare them. Don't get shot doing this. You're going to impact them. Most importantly, you're going to impact yourself. You're going to feel good about yourself. And if anybody sees you doing this, you can't tell anybody about it. But if they see you doing it, the person that watches both of you guys heighten your electricity, your frequency, they're going to be shocked. Because how seldom do people see anyone being nice to anyone anymore? Okay, this is very, very simple. Not one thing I have suggested to you today requires 1 penny. You can imagine for free. The question is, what are you imagining? It costs exactly the same. In fact, I would dare say that it costs you a lot more to imagine unconsciously without intention. And it's monster reward, return on investment if you intentionally imagine. Unintentional imagination, intentional imagination. You are a one of one. I am most certainly a one of one. One of one, dude. I hope to make a one of one impression on this planet. If my intention, if I can help but 1 or 1,000 or 10,000 or 10 million people tap into their true self, I am the richest man on this planet. Bar none, happy as a pig in the mud. Cannot think of a better way to end my life, in my days on this universe and in this session. To think that a human being could raise another human being's consciousness, their frequency, their harmonic, and then they pass that on to another human being through experience and example. Dude, there isn't anything greater than that type of legacy. I would implore all of you to be that great. Okay. You're able to be that great. Whatever your journey is your journey. I can't tell you that, but you're much, much more electric and powerful than we're pretending to be. So I want you to go out there and be powerful, help somebody today, do your I am. Get your damn book. Okay. If you guys can't buy your book, let me know. We'll order some and we'll sell them to you. Okay. Really care about you guys. Really care. Cannot believe how many people continue to show up here. You guys could repost the room. These are recorded. You can send them out to anyone. You guys use it as you like. And if you found something interesting here and you want to rip it and repost it. Thank you very much. You guys have an awesome day, and really, really do care about you all.